Hey guys, my name's David. On this episode, I'm going to show you how to get rid of mold on your walls. You can see my walls here. I live in a house that's a panaboat house. It's a wooden house. And so in the wintertime, this one room, for whatever reason, gets very cold. I don't know if it's just the way it was built, the way it's facing the sun, whatever it is, but it gets really cold. This is on the western side. And my walls, you can see, they've gotten moldy up here. And the reason for that is because I've put a draft guard down here on my door, and I found that if I block this room off, my heating bill goes down dramatically. The problem is this room is very moist now, it's very cold, and it gets moldy in here. So I'm going to show you a few ways to handle this. There's some cheap ways and there's some expensive ways to treat this. So first off, to clean this, we're going to use a mop, and we're going to mop the walls, and we're going to spray vinegar on everything. Vinegar will kill the mold, so you can mop it off like that. You can use a rag, wipe it off. This, right? Just wipe it off. A rag you don't want to use for anything else. This isn't to be used in your kitchen. This is your mold rag, and that's all you're going to use it for. So I'm going to wipe this whole place down, and then, but before that, I'll just show you guys. So like back here, oh, it's so bad back there. So bad and moldy up there. And then I've already been treating this, but you can see it gets moldy on here as well. Mostly like this whole stuff here. So we're going to clean all this off first, and then up here too, it gets wet. It's wet up here. There's water droplets right up there. So we're going to clean all this up first. So looking at the wall here, this is worse than I thought. That's gross. That is gross. I'm glad I caught this now, but that is terrible. It's all up there and stuff. So we got all sprayed down with vinegar. Now I'm just going to wipe this off. So I've temporarily dealt with the solution. I've wiped off all the mold all the way around there, but now we need to fix it from coming back because it's just going to keep accumulating. It's cold in here. So what I'm going to do is, there's three solutions. One, you can use a heater to dry out the space. Two, you can use a fan, which I was doing before. You can see a giant box fan down here. So let's say if you only have one wall that's getting it, you can use a fan. It's got to be a big fan, and just blow it against it. It will dry it out. That's a cheap, easy solution. In my case, though, I didn't realize how bad it was getting, so I have to dry out this whole space. To do that, I have a dehumidifier, which is a more expensive solution that will suck all the moisture out of this room, and then I'll use a heater to dry the space out even more, just so I can get it hot and dry in here. And then as it gets cool, I'll obviously leave the heater off, but I'll just have a dehumidifier in here that's constantly taking water out of the air, and keeping it, I don't know, I'm going to probably set it down to about 35, so 35% moisture in the air, just to constantly keep the water out. And I will just have it run into this bucket. You can have it run into a trough. It dumps, but I have a hose hooked up to the back of it. It'll just dump into this bucket, and then check it every once in a while, dump this out, and we're good to go. But if you don't have a dehumidifier, can't afford one, costs a couple $100, then just get yourself a nice heater, like I'll show you got here. So something like this Honeywell heater, I'll link up the description down below, but this pumps out a lot of heat and will dry out your space. It will obviously heat up your room, but to kill off the mold, you're gonna have to do that, or you need a dehumidifier, which I'll also link up down below. Or use a dehumidifier like this. As I said, I've got that hooked up to a hose. It runs into a bucket. That's easier for me to empty out. These do come with a tray, but it's easier for me to just put this hose on there. Usually I have this running into my my shower and over in the other area, but I need to just dehumidify this room. To get this dealt with quickly, I'm going to be dehumidifying, and I got this heater turned on here. So heater's on, dehumidifier. Set that down to 35 and we're good to go. So hopefully this helps you out. If you don't have both the heater and the dehumidifier, at least just use a fan. It'll give you something. It will dry out the walls a little bit at least. Hopefully this video helped you out. Be sure to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.